Are you struggling to collect Lunar Whispers? Are you trying to figure out which build is the best for the Lunar Oracle? Do you want to catch all the new Deviants, but for some reason they are not dropping? No problem, I have answers for everything. In this video, I will talk all about the new Lunar Oracle event, how to prepare for it with the best tips, which I discovered after over 150 hours of playing the new season. I'll explain what you can get during event time, the best farming routes, plus I will tell you the best weapons for this activity. Starting with a quick explanation, to access the newest content, you have to be on Lunar Oracle servers. If you are not yet on one and want to join us, join my Discord, where I can share my invitation code for the EU Manibus server. The Blood Moon event happens every 45 minutes across the whole map, excluding dungeons. Once it starts, you have 15 minutes to loot crates spawning around every settlement. When you kill enemies or collect resources, you earn Lunar Whispers, which can be used to open chests and craft new Lunar Oracle items. That's it for the explanation. Now, why is this event so worth doing? First off, if you've played this game for a long time, you probably want something new, which the Lunar Oracle offers. Secondly, if you're looking for a challenge, this content is harder than anything else you can do. Additionally, you can get tons of items, and the best part is that you can drop weapons, which will net you legendary calibrations for pistols, SMGs, and crossbows. If you run out of controllers, you can also get high-quality mods from new Lunar Oracle mod boxes, which are not restricted in any way. The more you play, the more you get. Speaking of drops, you can get multiple items during that 15-minute window at nighttime. Starting with calibrations. As mentioned, you can get legendary calibrations for pistols, SMGs, and crossbows. The most valuable items are probably the Deviants. You can drop 6 new Lunar Oracle versions of Deviants: Festering Gel, Lone Wolf's Whisper, Pyro Dino, By the Wind, Xeno Purifier, and Snow Sprite. Each of these Deviants comes with a unique trait, which boosts stats after sinking, multiplying this bonus when sanity is low. For a full showcase of each Deviant, watch my other video on my channel. Another valuable thing to drop is mods with a lunar suffix. These mods can also be obtained through mod conversion. If you don't know how to do it, watch my guide about mods on my channel. You can also get new animals with unique appearances, such as deer, wolves, rabbits, and goats. Additionally, you can obtain formulas for new items like Lunacy Stimulant, Lunacy Suppressant, Enhanced Fertilizer, a new activator, Lunar Plasma Missile, 3 new mixed feeds for animals, Lunar Gummies, and 3 new food buffs. You can also drop already made food buffs, lunar skins, and tons of materials, including acid. Now that you know what the Lunar Oracle is and what you can get, let's move to the next important topic. Which weapons are the best for this activity, and what to focus on to maximize your build's potential, even if you're using a different weapon? In this event, you'll primarily fight Deviants, so you should use a weapon with additional damage against them. Suppression-type weapons deal more damage to Deviants, so let's look at our options. We'll focus on weapons with some area of effect damage, since you'll often deal with more than one enemy at a time. The 3 best options are the Jaws Pistol, Abyss Glance, and Boom Boom. In my opinion, the worst option is Abyss Glance, but choose the weapon you're most comfortable with out of these 3. Here are some additional gear tips. Use mods that increase damage against normal and elite enemies, as you won't face bosses during nighttime. Aim for at least 40% damage against elite enemies and 20% against normal enemies. If you're using one piece of Bastille gear, swap it to Renegade, as the 10% weapon damage bonus while your HP is above 70% won't benefit you at nighttime. Consider equipping the Critical Rescue mod in your top slot to increase damage reduction by 20% when your HP is below 30%. Another important tip is to use lunar skins to craft gloves, as they boost Lunar Whisper yield by up to 40% when your HP is below 30%, which can be a game changer. If you enjoy high-risk, high-reward gameplay, consider using other lunar skins as well. I don't recommend using the new armor set yet. This may change in Pro Mode or Nightmare Manibus Prime Wars. An additional shield is unnecessary, as you can obtain one from cradles. Shields don't stack, making this a bad option. Speaking of cradles, I recommend using Deviant Energy Defense for a shield equal to 30% of your max HP when summoning a Deviant. Resilience and chaotic thoughts are two other cradles worth considering. Resilience provides 30% damage reduction when your sanity is below 30%, while chaotic thoughts grants 10% extra damage and damage reduction against deviants when you have a whim effect due to low sanity. By the way, if you like what I do, leave a like on this video and consider subscribing so you don't miss more high-quality Once Human content. You can also join our Once Human Discord, where you can chat, trade, and more. Since you know what the Lunar Oracle is, what you can get, and the best build, the next important topic is how to prepare. Keep in mind that the lower your HP, the more loot you will get, since the Lunar Oracle introduces high-risk, high-reward gameplay. That's why you should probably avoid using deviants like Festering Gel, which provide healing. Starting with food buffs and whims, you'll want to use Iced Tea for extra mobility and Stardust Ratatouille for even more mobility, or Roulette Dumplings for extra damage. Consider cooking rabbit meat too for an extra 40 stamina. Think about dropping your weight for an additional 25 stamina when you are underweight. To quickly drop your weight, eat spoiled food or drink dirty water. And don't forget to use antibiotics to stop the process. If you're struggling with survival, consider using lunar gummies, which provide a big shield, or braised meat, which provides damage reduction when your sanity is below 40%. For whims, the most important one is Arrow Leap, especially after nerfs to roll speed. Now, this is the best mobility movement. As an extra tip, you can dash for a longer time if you hold the dash button. If you still don't have this whim, you can craft it from Atomic Snail Deviant material. You can get this deviant from Prime War Chests after using a controller. Other important items you'll want to have with you include the Anti-Blockage Capsule, which resets teleportation cooldowns, a Space Twister if you're playing in a party, a logging chainsaw to help you spawn an additional wave of enemies, and healing bandages, which are useful while using the Arrow Leap whim, since you might occasionally break some bones. Other important items include adrenaline shots. If you die and use them, you won't lose lunacy. Lunacy stimulants, which induce the lunacy effect during the Lunar Oracle, are also crucial if you die without adrenaline shots. Something that can happen. It's important to have the lunacy effect. Without it, you can still farm Lunar Whispers, but you won't be able to see chests. Another important point is to keep your sanity above 10%. If you die with lower sanity, you'll lose the ability to use adrenaline shots. What happens if you die? Time is important, so you don't want to waste it. But dying without adrenaline shots is very punishing. You lose the lunacy effect, tons of whispers, and other items which you won't be able to collect in the location where you died. Before you start farming, set up your tent close to one of the settlements where you'll be farming. That way, you save a lot of time. A tent and base share the same cooldown, so make sure to carry a few anti-blockage capsules to reset the cooldown if needed. You can craft them at the supplies workbench. If you're playing in a party, the best strategy is to set up your tents in different locations and teleport to each other after finishing the loot collection in one settlement. Remember to always chop some wood or collect other materials like ores. Every time you gather resources during the Lunar Oracle, there's a chance to spawn 3 waves of enemies. Additionally, you'll always get a few Lunar Whispers. These events don't have a cooldown, so if you finish one and still need Whispers, keep gathering materials. Remember, 2 other people can spawn waves simultaneously if they're 30 meters apart from each other. During the Lunar Oracle, you can reset chests. Remember that you need to open them before 12 p.m. in-game time. To do this, simply relog, and you'll be able to open the same chests again, which you collected before 12 p.m. One important thing to mention is that changing worlds doesn't help much. If you've already opened crates, they will remain unavailable. It's worth noting that the chest opening animation has been fixed and even upgraded. Now, while opening chests, you can shoot or spawn your vehicle. Save a few seconds on each chest, and do this during opening for a smoother transition between crates. Another thing worth mentioning is that there's a daily limit for weapons and armor you can obtain from opening Lunar Oracle chests. You can collect up to 15 new armor pieces and 10 new weapons each day. You can start collecting gear after daily resets, which occur at the same time as your daily event rewards for controllers. You should also know that new deviants can only be obtained from opening chests with full rewards, at least unless I was unlucky when not using Lunar Whispers. When you drop Deviants, they always spawn outside of crates, so pay attention and don't leave anything behind. The higher the level of the zone where you open chests, the better the chance of getting something good. You can drop Skill 5 Deviants everywhere, but the highest chances are in zones above level 30. There, you can spawn chests costing 120 Lunar Whispers to open. The higher the number of Whispers used, the better the rewards. If you're still in Phase 1, you can use dropped gloves, which are Tier 5, to increase your chances of securing a Deviant. Remember, enemy levels matter a lot. Killing high-level enemies yields more Lunar Whispers. That's why you should be collecting Whispers in Red Sands and Black Heart regions. Lunar Oracle elite enemies have a respawn time of 3 minutes. Speaking of elites, there's one elite called Star Walker that drops loot for only one person. If you see this elite, make sure to collect the loot first. The good news is that you don't even have to deal any damage to loot this elite. Be sure to report this as a bug, as it causes a loss of Whispers, especially for your party members. By the way, you don't have to rush to collect all the loot dropped by enemies and Deviants from crates. They stay available for a long time. After the event ends, you can still do a few circles around the settlement and see if you missed anything. Lastly, there's one big change. Recently, they extended the time we can keep Lunar Whispers. It used to be 2 hours, but now it's been increased to 12 hours. The best thing is that you can prolong this duration by processing the Whispers into something, then disconnecting the power so the item stays in the queue until you reconnect the power. Ideally, you want to cancel crafting and collect your Lunar Whispers back. Do this every time before logging out of the game for a longer time. My favorite item to craft is red plasma since it doesn't require tons of meat, wheat, or corn. Now that you know everything about the Lunar Oracle, we can move on to the final topic, which is the best farming route and extra ways to optimize it. The route I'll show you is suitable for all types of players. You can do it solo or in a party. Of course, it will be much more efficient in a party, but as a solo player, it's still manageable if you follow my steps. As for some extra ways to improve efficiency, if you've saved a lot of Whispers, you have additional options. Instead of going to Evergreen as your secondary town, you can head to Rotten Saddle, where you can open 7 chests instead of 4. This location is better due to the higher number of chests, but the downside is that it's a lower level area, so you'll get fewer Lunar Whispers. Only go there if you've saved up a significant amount. If you don't want to open chests costing 50 or 75 currency, there are other approaches. If you prefer focusing on chests that cost 120 to open, you can visit up to 3 locations, but this will require a well-coordinated party. Make sure to open at least the minimal reward chests so they can reset after midnight. Even if the chest quality is low, you need to open it to reset its value. If you're unable to find a party, having an alt account can save you a lot of time. If you can run 2 accounts simultaneously, you can position your alt in one location, place a tent in another, and use the space twister when necessary. If you have an alt account but can't open a second client, you can place your base on your alt as close as possible to a settlement, join a hive, and use the teleportation option. For this, you'll need to carry an anti-blockage capsule to reset the teleportation cooldown. Let me know your best tips and tricks, and maybe I missed something. Share your thoughts in the comments and join my Once Human Discord. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more updates on Once Human, and please leave a like if you enjoy my content. For extra support, consider joining my YouTube membership. A huge thanks to my amazing supporters, Damian Wrzodkowski, Gerard, Vitali, 327, and a warm welcome to our newest supporter, Hellfingers.